Darkness, silence. A cold metallic hum filled the air. The alien training facility on planet Zorix 9 stood in the middle of a red desert. From the outside, it looked like a fortress. Tall silver walls, black towers, and glowing blue lights. But deep inside, in the lower levels, was something hidden. Something not even the new recruits knew about. Today was training day. The alien recruits were excited. They were told they would face a new simulation, something realistic and dangerous. But it was just a drill. Or so they believed. Commander Yeltrax, a tall, four-armed alien with glowing red eyes, stood in front of 15 young soldiers. He had a metal mask over his face, and his voice was rough. "This is not a normal test," he said. "You will enter Sector 7C. Inside, there's a creature from a dead planet. You will learn how to observe, control, and dominate." One of the recruits, a purple-skinned alien named Vel, raised a hand. "Sir, what kind of creature?" Yeltrax paused. "A human." The room went quiet. Then a few soldiers chuckled. "Aren't they extinct?" Another recruit asked. Commander Yeltrax narrowed his eyes. "They are, mostly this one, survived, somehow." The soldiers looked at each other. Whispers moved through the room. No one had seen a human before. They only knew the stories, violent, unpredictable, dangerous, but also weak, primitive, outdated. Yeltrax continued. "You are not to touch the cage. Do not speak to it. Do not provoke it. This is still a training drill, but don't get smart." He pressed a button and a metal door opened. "Enter." The recruit stepped inside a dark hallway. The lights flickered. The air smelled like metal and something burnt. The walls had scratches. Deep ones. "Who made those?" Vel asked. Another recruit laughed nervously. "Maybe the last group who trained here." They all laughed, but it was forced. They reached a large room. The center had a glass pod, filled with blue mist. Inside it, a figure floated, tall, muscular, with short black hair and pale skin. His eyes were closed. He looked peaceful, harmless. "That's the human?" one recruit asked. "Looks like he's sleeping." Another walked closer. "He's not even moving." "Are we supposed to fight that?" One recruit tapped on the glass. Tap, tap. Nothing. He tapped harder. Tap, tap. Still nothing. "Maybe he's dead," someone said. A few of them laughed again. One alien even made a face and mocked the human. Then suddenly, the human's finger twitched. The room fell silent. "Did you see that?" one of the recruits asked. No. It was just a glitch. Probably part of the simulation." Then another twitch. This time, the human's head tilted slightly. His eyes were still closed. But his body moved, slow, controlled, purposeful. The blue mist inside the pod started to clear. Vel took a step back. I think he's waking up." "No way, this is a drill, remember? It's just a trick." But Commander Yeltrax's voice came through the speakers. And this time, he sounded afraid. "Get away from the pod, now." The recruits froze. "What?" Someone whispered. "This isn't part of the simulation," Yeltrax shouted. "Back away." But it was too late. The pod made a loud hissing sound. The glass cracked, then shattered. The human fell to the floor, coughing. Steam rose around him. He slowly got up, his hands shaking. He looked around. His eyes were dark, cold, confused. Vel whispered. "He's awake." The human blinked, looked at the aliens, looked at the walls, then at himself. His voice was low, raspy. "Where am I?" No one answered. He took one step forward. The nearest alien pulled out his stun baton. "Stay where you are, creature." The human didn't stop. His steps were slow, like he was learning to walk again. "But steady." The alien jabbed the baton forward. Big mistake. In one lightning-fast move, the human grabbed the alien's arm, twisted it backward. Snap. The alien screamed, fell to the ground. The others gasped. 2 more pulled out their weapons. Human stood still. He didn't speak. He just looked at his own hands, as if trying to remember something. He's not attacking, one recruit said. What is he doing? He's thinking, Vel whispered. Sirens started blaring. Red lights flashed. The door behind them locked shut. The facility was in full lockdown. The human looked at the red lights, then back at the recruits. I don't know where I am, he said slowly. But I know one thing. I shouldn't be here. Another alien shouted, Stand down or be terminated. The human turned. Terminated? You think you can kill me? He smiled. Just a little. I don't even know who I am yet, but you will. The floor shook. Heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. Elite guards were coming. One recruit, terrified, tried to escape through the side hatch, but it was sealed. He banged on the wall. Let me out. This was just a drill. Yeltrax's voice returned. Stay away from the human. Do not engage. Fall back. But there was no way out. The human stepped forward again. This time, his posture was stronger. Straighter. He looked taller. His body was healing, muscles tightening, eyes becoming sharper. VEL looked at him carefully. You're evolving? The human nodded slowly. I feel clearer now. Another soldier aimed a plasma gun at him. Stop right there. The human stared at him. Then he said one word. No. The plasma blast fired, but the human dodged it effortlessly. He moved like a shadow, silent, fast. In one move, he disarmed the soldier and knocked him out. What kind of creature is this? Another soldier screamed. The human turned to the rest. You locked me in a cage for how long? No one answered. He clenched his fists. I remember. Stars, fire, then silence. He looked at his reflection in the glass. I was frozen. Vel finally found his voice. You were kept in stasis for 3 years. They said you were dangerous. That your species was wiped out. By who? The human asked. They never told us. The human paused. What planet is this? Zorix 9. This is a training base. He looked at the ceiling, so far away from Earth. He took a deep breath. I need answers. Suddenly, the metal doors burst open. Elite guards entered, big, armored, armed. Target located, one said. Engage with force. The human raised his hands. I don't want to fight. But they fired anyway. He moved. He ran between them like wind, dodged bullets, punched, kicked, flipped. The aliens couldn't keep up. Within seconds, 5 guards were down, unconscious, not dead. The human stood in the center of the room, breathing steady, calm. Vel looked at him with wide eyes. Why didn't you kill them? The human stared back. Because I'm not like them, Vel asked. Then what are you? He thought for a moment. Then he said, I'm human. Then the screen in the room flickered. A face appeared, older, alien, dressed in black. A general. You weren't supposed to wake up, the general said. The human stepped forward. You lied. We saved you. You used me. The general's face darkened. Return to your pod, or we will erase what's left of you. The human smiled. Try me. Then the screen went black. The red lights turned to blue. Emergency. Protocol activated. The base was about to enter lockdown stage 2. Vel turned to the human. What are you going to do? He looked at the sky through a small window. Stars were shining. Somewhere out there. Maybe Earth still existed. I'm going to find out the truth. Vel hesitated, then took a step closer. Then I'll help. You're not afraid of me? Vel shook his head. I think I should be, but I'm more afraid of them. The human nodded once. Then stay close. Alarms screamed louder. Outside the room, dozens of soldiers were lining up. The human looked at the broken cage, the place where he slept for 3 years. Time to wake the others, he whispered. And with that, they ran toward the next door. Dark corridors twisted under the surface of Zorix 9, deeper than any recruit had ever been allowed to go. Above, alarms still echoed. Soldiers shouted. But down here, it was cold, silent, forgotten. Inside the command center, Commander Yeltrax stared at the monitor with disbelief. The feed from Sector 7C showed broken glass, unconscious guards, and a single figure walking calmly out of the room. Human. He wasn't supposed to wake up, Yeltrax growled. Beside him stood a tall figure, gray-skinned, dressed in black armor, and with silver rings floating around his head. He was Advisor Kalith, a scientist from the High Command. Kalith's voice was calm, too calm. Did you follow the stasis instructions? Yeltrax slammed his hand on the control panel. Yes. Exactly as ordered. He's been in cryo for 3 standard cycles. He never moved. Never even twitched until today. Kalith leaned forward. His eyes scanned the human's movement on screen. He didn't just move, he woke up. A technician at the back stuttered. He took out 6 elite guards, unarmed. Yeltrax turned to Kalith. You said he was safe. You said he couldn't escape. Kalith didn't answer at first. Then he said something that made the room go silent. We underestimated him. Meanwhile, far below, the human walked with Vel through the lower tunnels. The lights were dim. Pipes hissed steam from the walls. They moved fast but quiet. The human didn't speak much. He was thinking, processing. Eel finally broke the silence. I don't even know your name. The human stopped. I don't know either. He touched his temple. My memory, it's broken. I see flashes. Earth, fire, voices, a woman's voice, then darkness. Vel looked at him with sympathy. They called you Subject 13. That's all we knew. Figures, the human muttered. They reached an old panel. Vel pressed some keys. A hidden door slid open. Inside was a room full of old tech, dust, and broken droids. This place hasn't been used in years, Vel said. No cameras. We're safe here, for now. The human walked inside slowly, scanning everything. He stopped in front of a cracked mirror. For the first time, he saw himself properly. Look older than I remember, he said quietly. Vel sat on a crate. What do you remember? The human didn't answer at first. Then, I was a soldier. Earth Defense Unit, we were fighting. Something big. Ships in the sky. Buildings falling. Screams. Then white light. He looked down at his hands. I think I died. Vel said softly, You didn't. They found your body in the ruins of a city. Somehow you were still alive. They froze you. Why? The human asked. Why keep me alive? Vel hesitated. Then opened a small storage case. Inside were old datapads, files, and one glowing chip. They called it the human protocol. The human took the chip. What is it? Vel explained. It's classified, top level. Only the High Command knows the full details. But I heard things, rumors. Tell me. Vel took a breath. They studied you, your DNA, your brain, everything. Said you were different. Dangerous, but also special, not like other species. The human frowned. They turned me into an experiment. Yes. Vel nodded. They hoped to create a weapon, a perfect soldier. One that learns, evolves, adapts. I'm not a weapon, the human growled. Vel looked him in the eye. Maybe not by choice. Back in the command center, Kalith was in a secure room, speaking to someone on a private channel. The figure on screen was cloaked in shadows. Subject 13 has activated, Kalith said. A distorted voice replied, Can you control him? No, Kalith admitted, but perhaps we can guide him. He cannot discover what happened to Earth. Contain him. Kalith narrowed his eyes. And if I refuse? The screen blinked off. Kalith sighed. Typical. He turned to a console, opened a secret file labeled Earth exile, human protocol. Inside were video logs, documents, and a name. Captain Noah Riker, Earth Defense Command. Status: missing in action. Khalif whispered, "So, that's who you were." Down in the hidden room, the human held the glowing chip. "Can you access this?" Vel nodded. "Give me a few minutes." He plugged it into an old console. The screen flickered to life. A hologram appeared. A human woman, short hair, sharp voice, military uniform. "This is Commander Elena Ross, Earth Command. Code Black transmission. If you're seeing this, Earth has fallen." The human stepped closer. Aliens known as the Varnak Alliance launched a surprise attack. We were outmatched. I authorized Project Cryo-Sentinel. We placed our best soldier, Captain Riker, into deep stasis. "A last hope," Vel whispered. "Captain Riker, that's you." The message continued. If Riker survives, he must find the truth. Earth wasn't just attacked, it was betrayed. The video cut out. Vel turned slowly. Betrayed? Riker, now remembering who he was, clenched his fists. I was put to sleep because someone didn't want me to know what happened. Suddenly, the console blinked red. "They were being tracked." Vel gasped. "They found us." "Time to go," Riker said. They ran back into the hallway. Sirens followed. Guards chased. Riker moved like a storm, fast, precise, unstoppable. He didn't kill, only knocked out. But he never missed. In a dark corner, Vel asked, "Where now?" Riker looked up. "The archives. If I want answers, I need to find the full human protocol file." "Top-level access only," Vel warned. "Then we break in." At the archive entrance, robotic sentries blocked the way. Riker studied them, then ran straight in. The sentries fired stun beams. Riker flipped, slid, grabbed a metal rod from the floor, and took them down in seconds. Vel stared. "How do you move like that?" Riker's voice was cold. "I was trained for war, and now I remember it." Inside the archives, hundreds of files blinked on shelves and walls. Vel helped search. Then Riker found a folder, Earth Termination Order. File locked. He tried to open it. Denied. He placed his hand on the scanner. Beep. Access granted. Vel's eyes widened. "You're still recognized in their system." "I was never erased," Riker muttered. The file opened. Inside, one sentence made his blood run cold. Earth was not destroyed by enemy forces. The order came from within the Varnak Council. Human resistance was growing too strong. Vel shook his head. "They feared you." Riker's face was hard. "They killed my planet to stop a rebellion." Then a second file opened automatically. Project Omega. Create a hybrid army based on Riker's DNA. First test failed. Second subject missing. Vel gasped. "There's another like you." Riker nodded slowly. Somewhere, suddenly gas filled the room. Riker grabbed Vel and smashed through a side door. Elite soldiers swarmed the hall. Khalif stood at the far end. "Captain Riker, you're awake." Riker stared. "You knew all along." Khalif didn't deny it. "You were meant to be a weapon, not a hero." "I choose who I am," Riker growled. Khalif raised a hand. "Join us, we can rebuild Earth, together." Riker stepped forward. "You first." Then, boom, he threw a flash grenade. Smoke filled the air. Riker grabbed Vel, and they vanished into the chaos. Later that night, high above the facility, a stolen scout ship blasted through the clouds. Riker stood at the controls. Vel beside him. "Where now?" Vel asked. Riker's eyes were fixed on the stars. "Wherever the truth leads." Far behind them, Zorix 9 burned with alarms and fear, and far ahead, another cryopod waited. Another secret. Another human, the stolen scout ship flew fast through deep space. Its engines left a blue trail across the stars. Inside, Captain Riker sat at the controls. He didn't blink much, didn't talk. His mind was racing. Vel, sitting beside him, finally spoke. You okay? Riker didn't look away from the stars. There's another pod, another human. Somewhere out there, Vel nodded. The files. Mentioned it, Subject Omega, but no location. Riker's jaw tightened. I need to find them. Do you think they're like you? Riker didn't answer. He didn't know. His memories were returning piece by piece. Battlefields, orders. A woman's voice, Elena Ross, his commander, his friend? But this other human, Subject Omega, could be anything. A soldier, a clone. A mistake. Vel pressed a few keys on the screen. We're getting a signal. A base, unregistered, deep sector. No name, no ID, but strong energy readings. Riker leaned forward. Send the coordinates. The ship turned toward a red system. A planet surrounded by dust clouds. No ships. No life signs. Or so it seemed. As they got closer, Riker saw it. A mountain with no peak, black as night. Inside it, lights blinked. A hidden lab, Riker said. They landed in silence. No alarms, no response. Stepping outside, the air was cold, thin, but breathable. They walked toward a metal door carved into the mountain. Vel scanned it. Old tech, pre-war, maybe human. Riker reached out and touched the surface. It opened with a hiss. They stepped inside. Dark, cold, echoes in the air. The hallway led them deeper underground. The lights flickered on as they moved. One by one, suddenly Vel stopped. Something moved. Riker turned, eyes sharp. Where? A shadow. A blur. Then silence. They moved again, slower now. At the end of the corridor was a large round chamber. In the center, a pod like the one Riker was in, but older, cracked. And inside, a human. Female. Her skin was pale. Her body still, but not dead. Vel whispered, Is she alive? Riker stepped closer. Subject Omega. He pressed a few buttons. The screen blinked. Status. Stable. Brain activity. Active. She's dreaming, Riker said. He placed his hand on the glass. I know you, he whispered. Suddenly, the room lit up. Voices, robotic. Unauthorized entry detected. Security protocol activated. Turrets dropped from the ceiling. Riker pushed Vel aside. Cover, the guns fired. Riker rolled behind a pillar. Grabbed a metal pipe from the floor. He moved fast. Through it, direct hit. One turret sparked and died. Vel crawled to a control panel. I can shut it down. Do it, the turrets kept firing. Riker dodged, jumped, slid. Vel typed fast. Wires sparked. Then, darkness. All guns powered down. Riker stood up, breathing hard. You okay? Vel gave a thumbs up. They both turned to the pod. The glass cracked, hissed. Subject Omega's eyes opened. Blue. Glowing. Sharp. She looked around. Confused. Then, at Riker. You're human, she said softly. Riker nodded. So are you. She sat up slowly. Where am I? Long story. She swung her legs out of the pod. Her movements were strong, controlled. Riker noticed it. She wasn't weak. Not tired. She was ready. What's your name? He asked. She blinked. Thought for a moment. Sierra. Captain Sierra Black. Riker froze. Captain? She nodded. Earth Defense Unit. I was part of Omega Flight. Last mission, protect the Phoenix. Gate. Vel looked confused. Phoenix Gate? Sierra turned to him. It was Earth's last secret. A weapon, or maybe a doorway. Riker stepped back. I remember. They said it could bend time. Space, Sierra nodded. And the Varnak wanted it. Vel added, but Earth was betrayed before they got it, right? Sierra looked down. Not before, during. Silence. Sierra touched her head. They caught me, took me. I remember pain, Then, blackness. Riker asked, "Do you remember the person who gave the betrayal order?" Syrah's eyes sharpened. "Yes, his name was Kalith." Vel gasped. "He's still alive." "Good," Syrah said. "Then I'll kill him." Riker raised a hand. "We need answers, not just revenge." Syrah turned to him. "You think he'll give us the truth?" Riker's voice was calm. "He'll try, but I'll know when he lies." Outside the lab, someone watched. A tall figure in black armor. Watching through a drone. "Kali Thi." He whispered into a device. "Subject Omega is active. Proceed to Phase 2. A voice replied, "And subject?" 13, Kalith smiled. "Let them find what they seek. It will lead them to the gate." Back in the ship, Riker, Vel, and Syrah sat around a hologram map. Syrah pointed. "The Phoenix Gate is here. Deep in the red expanse. Hidden in a rift," Vel said. "That place is death. Ships disappear there." Riker looked at her. "Then we go." Syrah nodded. "I have access codes. We'll need them." Riker turned to Vel. "You don't have to come." Vel laughed nervously. "Are you kidding? I'm already wanted for helping you. Might as well see how it ends." Riker smiled slightly. Then warning lights. A ship appeared on sensors. Massive, heavily armed. A war cruiser. Varnak ship. Vel whispered. "It's Kalith," Syrah said. "We can't outrun him," Vel added. Riker checked the ship's controls. "Then we hide." He shut down all systems. The ship went dark. Outside. The cruiser scanned the area. They held their breath. Moments passed. The cruiser turned and jumped away. Vel exhaled. "That was close." Syrah looked at Riker. "You've changed. You're quieter than before." "I've seen too much," he said. "But I haven't seen the end yet." She nodded. "Then let's find it." Far away, inside the cruiser, Kalith watched the empty space. He smiled again. "They're going exactly where we want them." He turned to a hidden chamber behind him. Inside, another pod, smaller, contained. Inside it, a child. Human. Eyes closed. "But brain active," Kalith whispered. "And when they reach the gate, he will awaken." Space stretched wide and endless. Before them, the small ship moved slowly through a red fog, thick, glowing, and alive with static. They had entered the red expanse, a forbidden zone where signals died and ships never returned. Inside the cockpit, Riker stared at the swirling mist. "This place, it feels wrong." Syrah sat beside him, quiet. She wasn't scared, but alert. Vel stood behind them, holding a scanner. "I'm picking up nothing. No ships, no signals. Not even gravity, just fog." Syrah tapped the map. "The Phoenix Gate should be near. This area doesn't follow normal space rules. That's why it was hidden here." Riker nodded. "A doorway inside chaos. Smart." Then, a pulse. The ship shook. Vel grabbed the controls. "Something's pulling us in." Outside, a spiral of red light opened. "A vortex, we're being dragged." Vel shouted. Syrah shouted, "Hold course." The ship spiraled through. Lights flickered. Pressure rose. Then, silence. They weren't in normal space anymore. Ahead of them floated a giant structure. Black metal, shaped like a ring, spinning slowly. In the center glowed a sphere of blue energy. Syrah whispered, "The Phoenix Gate." Riker stood up. "Now we get answers." They landed on a platform connected to the ring. As the ship touched down, a voice echoed through the fog. Not a speaker, but inside their minds. "Welcome, human relics. You've reached the end of your war." Vel clutched his head. "What is that?" Riker stood firm. "AI, very old, still functioning." Syrah nodded. "It's scanning us." They stepped out of the ship. The platform was wide, smooth, glowing under their feet. In the center stood a pillar, tall and pulsing with energy. Suddenly, holograms appeared. Scenes from Earth. Cities falling. Ships fleeing. People screaming. Then Riker. Fighting. Bleeding. Dying. Then Sira. Standing over a console. Pressing a red button. She turned away from the memory. That's when I sent the codes to Earth Command. The Phoenix Gate was almost ready. But we were too late. Riker walked to the pillar. His hand hovered over it. The voice returned. You seek truth. You seek memory. But memory has a price. Riker spoke clearly. Show me who gave the order. The hologram changed. A tall figure appeared. Alien, cold, familiar. Calith. He gave the final signal, the voice said. He sent Earth's coordinates to the Varnak fleet. He betrayed you. Vel whispered. Calith destroyed Earth. Sarah's fists clenched. We have to stop him. The voice continued. But Calith is not done. He seeks the child. He seeks to control time. Riker froze. What? Child? The pillar showed a new image, a pod, a small one. Inside, a young boy. Human. No more than 6 years old. Sira's voice cracked. I know that face. Riker turned to her. Who is he? She whispered, my son. Far away, aboard the Varnak cruiser, Calith stood before the child's pod. He placed a hand on the glass. You were born from 2 soldiers. Sira Black and Noah Riker. Engineered. Perfect. The child stirred slightly. Calith smiled. You are the key to the gate. He turned to his generals. Set course. They've arrived. Back at the gate, Vel checked his scanner. A ship's approaching. Massive. It's him. Sira stepped forward. He wants the gate, and the boy. Riker looked at the pillar. Can we stop him? The voice answered. The gate needs 2 keys to activate. 2 humans who were there at the fall of Earth. You are the last. Sira looked at Riker. Then together, they placed their hands on the pillar. It lit up, bright, hot, humming with power. A beam shot into the sky. The gate began to spin faster. The energy sphere in the middle pulsed with blue and gold. Vel shouted. What's happening? Riker stepped back. We opened it. The energy sphere began to change into a doorway. Behind it, a bright world. Blue skies. Green Earth, familiar. Earth, Sira gasped. Before the fall, Vel blinked. It's a portal to the past? The voice confirmed. The Phoenix Gate was never a weapon. It was a doorway through time, to stop the fall before it began. Riker's eyes widened. We can stop the betrayal. Suddenly, boom, the platform shook. A ship broke through the clouds. Calith's cruiser. Massive, angry. It fired. The blast hit the outer ring. Pieces exploded. Debris flew. Sira grabbed Vel. Get to the ship. Riker stayed. I'm ending this. Calith descended on a smaller shuttle, landing hard. He stepped out, smiling. Captain Riker, Captain Black, you found the truth. Sira shouted, give me the child. Calith laughed. He is the gate. His DNA holds the final sequence. He can open it fully or close it forever. Riker stepped forward. You destroyed our world. For what? Kalitha's eyes burned. To stop humans from becoming gods. You think you're heroes. You're chaos. Riker raised his fist. We're survivors. Then, they charged. Riker and Sira attacked together. Calith moved fast, stronger than before. He had implants. Upgrades. But Riker knew his moves now. Sira leapt. Calith blocked. Riker punched, direct hit. They fought across the platform. Sparks flew. Metal cracked. Vel shouted from the ship. I'm bringing in the pod. The child's pod floated down, powered by drones. It landed near the gate. The child opened his eyes blue, just like Sira's. He looked around, confused, scared. Sira ran to him. It's okay, I'm your mother. The child stared. Mom? She hugged him tight. Calith roared. He is mine. He lunged. Riker blocked him. No, he's ours. They fought one last time. Riker took hit after hit. But he didn't fall. He remembered Earth, his friends. The promise. He struck Caliph with all his strength. Caliph fell. Broken. Defeated. Riker stood over him. You lost. Caliph coughed blood. Even if you go back, they won't believe you. Riker said nothing. He turned to the gate. The child stepped forward. What do I do? Sira said gently. Touch it. Like we did. The boy touched the pillar. The gate lit up, brighter than ever. A path opened. Earth. Before the fall, Riker looked at Sira, then at Vel. We have one chance. Sira nodded. Let's finish what we started. Vel grinned nervously. Time travel? Why not? They stepped into the light. The gate hummed. Then pulsed. And then silence. Caliph, alone on the broken platform, screamed. The gate closed. White light wrapped around them like fire and water mixed together. Riker felt nothing and everything at once. His breath caught. Time wasn't moving. It was bending, like glass warping in heat. Then, a hard jolt. The trio landed on grass. Green grass, fresh air. Blue sky. Birds. They stood in silence. A real breeze touched their faces. Sira dropped to her knees. Earth. Vel blinked at the tall buildings in the distance. This is the capital. Riker nodded slowly. New Geneva. The command center. Everything was clean, calm. Number. War. No fear. Yet. Sira grabbed her son's hand. This is the day before the attack. We have hours, maybe less. Riker checked his wrist device. The date confirmed it. Earth, one day before the Varnak betrayal. He looked at the city skyline. We need to find Commander Ross. She believed me. Sira stood. She's your old CO? Yes, she's the only one who might help us. Vel pulled out a small scanner. Still works. I'm picking up security networks, military traffic. The world doesn't know what's coming. Then, we tell them, Riker said. They moved quickly, blending in. Vel hacked a transport vehicle, and they rode into the city, passing civilians smiling, laughing, shopping. Sira shook her head. They're all going to die. Riker gritted his teeth. Not this time. They reached a secure tower. The Earth Defense HQ. 2 guards stood outside. Riker stepped forward. I'm Captain Noah Riker. Clearance level A9. The guards scanned him. Confused. One of them frowned. Captain Riker is Mia. Riker showed his wrist ID. I'm back. The guards exchanged a look, then slowly moved aside. They entered a steel elevator that rose quietly. Inside, Sira held her son close. Stay quiet. Say nothing. He nodded. I'm scared. Riker knelt beside him. Being brave doesn't mean not being scared. It means you do what's right, even when you are. The doors opened. Commander Elena Ross stood at the end of a long hallway, shocked. She stepped forward. Riker? Is that really? He saluted. Ma'am, I have vital information. Earth is in danger. She took them into her office. Soundproof, secure. Explain, she demanded. Sira helped. The Varnak betrayal. Caliph. The gate. It's all real. He sends the signal from inside our own fleet. Ross narrowed her eyes. Caliph is one of our allies, Riker interrupted. He isn't. He's behind the fall. You have to check his ship's logs. We have coordinates, proof. Vel plugged in a data stick. A hologram appeared, showing the future destruction, Caliph's betrayal. The child in the pod. Ross sat down slowly. This is impossible. Riker leaned in. Ma'am, I'm telling you the truth. We came from the Phoenix Gate. We traveled back to stop this. Ross stared at the boy. Who is the child? Sira looked at Riker. My son, she said. Ours. Riker blinked but didn't speak. Ross stood. Caliph is in orbit. He's scheduled to speak at a summit in 3 hours. Riker nodded. That's when he triggers the code. You must stop the summit. Now, Ross sighed. That's not so easy. If I act without proof, I could cause panic. Or worse, a war. Vel. Step forward, then give us access. Let us prove it from his ship. Ross thought for a long moment, then nodded. I'll get you clearance. But if you're wrong... I'm not, Riker said. Above Earth, the orbital summit platform floated calmly. Caliph stood on the viewing deck, speaking with other leaders, smiling, calm. He knew. Inside his mind, he had already planned every second. He turned to his assistant. Are the humans back? The assistant blinked. Unknown, sir. Gate readings suggest interference. Caliph's eyes narrowed. Prepare the failsafe. Riker and his team suited up. Ross gave them access to a military shuttle. Sira piloted it fast toward the summit station. On board, Vel activated his gear. Once we're on, I'll tap into the core and pull Caliph's logs. Riker nodded. No mistakes, this is our only shot. The shuttle docked. Caliph's people greeted them. Cold smiles. Empty eyes, Riker pushed past them. Inside, the summit was about to begin. Caliph stepped onto a stage. Surrounded by Earth's leaders, Riker whispered to Sira, We'll handle Caliph. Get Vel to the server room. Sira moved fast, leading Vel through side corridors. Riker walked straight into the summit hall. Caliph saw him and smiled. Well, Captain Riker. He raised his hand. The room went silent, returned. From the grave, Riker spoke calmly. This meeting is a trap. Caliph is about to betray Earth. Gasps, murmurs. Caliph's face didn't change. That's a heavy accusation. Riker held up a small projector. Here's what happens if you don't listen. The hologram played, Earth exploding, fleets burning. Caliph's betrayal. People stared, horrified. Caliph laughed. Fake, fabricated. Then, the power flickered. Sira's voice came over. The intercom. We're in. Caliph's logs are uploading. Suddenly, the screen showed Caliph's ship data. Coordinates sent. Earth's defense routes exposed. All signed with Caliph's ID. Caliph growled. Enough. He reached into his coat. A blade formed from light. He jumped from the stage, straight toward Riker. The room screamed. Riker blocked with a shock baton. Sparks flew. They fought across the hall, blows fast, deadly. Riker dodged, punched, struck back. Caliph moved like a shadow. But Riker had faced him before. This time, Riker was ready. He hit Caliph square in the chest. Caliph fell back. Then, alarms. Ships outside. The station began turning. Some were Varnak. Others had already been taken over. Caliph smiled from the floor. It's too late. Even if you stop me, the attack has begun. Sira called through the comms. Riker, there's more. He set up a virus in the command net. It's already spreading. Riker turned to Ross, who had arrived during the fight. We need to wipe the grid. Hard reset. Ross hesitated. If we do that, Earth will be blind for 30 minutes. We'll fix it. Just trust me. Ross gave the order. Systems across. Earth flickered, then went dark. The virus died. The Varnak fleet paused, confused, disconnected. Vel shouted, We did it! Caliph growled, crawling to a weapon. Sira kicked it away. Riker pulled him to his feet. You lost. Again. Caliph spat. You can't change what's coming. Humanity always destroys itself. Riker said quietly, Not this time. Caliph was taken into custody. Riker turned to Ross. We need to warn the colonies, make peace with the Varnak rebels, and protect the gate. Ross nodded. We will. Later, on a hill overlooking the city, Riker and Sira stood together. The boy sat on the grass, drawing in the dirt. Riker looked out at the sky. We bought time. But there's still danger. Sira nodded. He'll grow up in a better world now. Riker looked at her. Our son? She smiled. Yes. He blinked. I never knew. Sira put her hand on his. You know now. Vel approached, holding. Come, they want to give you both medals. Riker shook his head. We're not heroes. We just did what we had to. Sira looked up at the sky. For Earth. Riker whispered. For all of us. The wind blew gently. And for the first time in a long time, Earth was at peace. But far in space, beyond known stars, something else stirred. Another gate. Another war. Waiting. Watching. And preparing. Earth was rebuilding. Skies were clear. Ships flew above like silver birds. People smiled again, but Riker didn't. He stood in a small control room deep underground, watching an old satellite dish turn slowly. His eyes were locked on the screen. Vel entered with 2 mugs. You need sleep, Captain. Riker didn't answer. Vel set down the mug. Still watching the relay logs? Riker pointed. There. On the screen, a repeating wave. Strange, not natural, not random. Look at the pattern, he said. Vel frowned. That's not human. Not Varnak either. The signal pulsed like a heartbeat. Then skip.v, Il whispered. It's repeating coordinates. Riker nodded. It's coming from a dead system. One we never explored. Vel sat down. So who's sending it? Riker's voice was low. Someone who shouldn't exist. Sira sat with her son in a quiet park. She smiled as he drew stars. On a digital pad, he looked up. Mom, will the bad aliens come back? She paused, choosing her words. We stopped the worst one. But the universe is big. He looked serious. If they do, will you protect me? She kissed his forehead. Always. Her wrist pad buzzed. It was Riker. We need to talk. Something's coming. Later, in Earth Defense HQ, Riker showed the signal to Sira. It's a beacon. Buried in old space. Pre-human tech. Sira stared. Pre-human? You mean older than us? Yes, Vel said. Way older. Sira folded her arms. What do they want? Riker looked at her. They're calling us. Because they know we used the gate. A silence filled the room. Sira leaned in. We shut the gate. Vel shook his head. We only closed our side. Sira whispered. Then they're watching. In a hidden Varnak temple, Khalith sat in chains. A visitor arrived. Tall, covered in ancient armor. Not fully Varnak. Khalith smiled through bloodied lips. I knew you'd come. The visitor stepped forward. His voice was like cold wind. You used the gate. You triggered the eye. Khalith nodded. They'll come now. The humans will lead them straight to it. The visitor didn't speak. Just placed a small device on Khalith's chest. Khalith's body convulsed. Then stopped. His eyes turned black. He whispered in a voice not his own. They are awake. Back on Earth, Ross approved a stealth mission. If there's even a 1% chance this signal is a threat, we check it out. Riker, Sira, and Vel prepared for launch. The boy watched as they suited up. Will you come back? Riker knelt. Always. You're the reason we do this. The ship launched quietly, no public alerts. They crossed galaxies in hours, moving past known space. At last, they reached the signal's origin. An old system, all planets dead. Stars burned out. At the center, a black monolith floating in. Silence. No windows. No doors. Just dark metal and a pulsing red light. Vel scanned it. It's not a ship, it's a transmitter. Sira stared. For who? Then it happened. Their ship shut down, all lights off. All engines dead. They floated in the dark. Vel shouted, We've been hacked. Sira pulled her gun. From where? Riker looked at the monolith. It's not just sending signals. A voice echoed in the ship. You opened the gate. Now we open the eye. The monolith cracked. Light burst out. White and gold. From inside, a shape flew toward them, fast, small. A probe. But it was a live dot. It hit the ship. Then everything changed. Riker woke up on the floor. Alone. The ship was wrong. Lights flickered. Hallways twisted. He called, "Sarah?" "Vel." No answer. He walked slowly, gun raised. Voices whispered in the walls. His voice. His fears. He passed a mirror. Saw himself. Old. Broken. Then the mirror cracked. Shape moved behind him. He turned. No one there. He kept walking. Then a door opened. Sarah stood there, but her eyes glowed. "Who are you?" Riker asked. She smiled. "Too wide. We are the Watchers." He fired. She vanished into dust. Then he woke again. On the floor. Now really awake. V. Eel stood over him. "Captain, you blacked out." Riker sat up. "It's the probe. It's inside the ship." Sarah entered. I saw it too. "It's reading us, our memories, our minds." Vel added, "It's looking for something." Riker nodded. "The child." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Why?" Then a message appeared on the main screen. Just 3 words. "Where is he?" Riker stepped back. "It's hunting him." The probe appeared again, this time inside the ship, fully formed. Humanoid now. Eyes like stars. "We are the architects," it said. "We built the gates. You were not meant to use them." Sarah aimed her weapon. Too late. The architect didn't move. "You changed time. You broke the line. Now the eye opens early." Riker stepped forward. "What is the eye?" The architect pointed into space. A star there began to move. No, it wasn't a star. It was an eye. Massive. Cosmic. Awakening. "You invited it," the architect said. "You saved your Earth, but doomed a universe." The eye blinked. Light traveled faster than time. Their ship shook. The architect vanished. Vel shouted, "We need to run." They jumped into warp. Back on Earth, Ross got the signal. The eye had opened, and something was coming through. She whispered, "Prepare all fleets." The trio returned. But not alone. Inside the ship's core. A seed, glowing. Vel scanned it. "It's building a gate of its own," Sarah whispered, "inside our planet." Riker clenched his fists. "We brought it here." Then the seed pulsed. A countdown began. Not hours. Minutes. Earth Defense HQ was quiet. Too quiet. General Ross stood in the war room. Giant screens showed red alerts, but no one knew what to do. Riker, Sarah, and Vel had returned from the mission. But not alone. In their ship's engine core, the seed pulsed. Alive. V. Eel scanned it again. "It's not just energy. It's rewriting matter around it." Sarah leaned in. "It's going faster." Riker clenched his jaw. "It's building a gate, right under our feet." General Ross asked the only question that mattered. "How much time do we have?" Vel looked up. 13 hours. Underground bunkers buzzed with activity. Evacuations began across major cities. The public didn't know the truth, only that something bad was coming. Ross pulled Riker aside. "I can't tell 7 billion people the sky is about to tear open. But if you've got a plan, now's the time." Riker looked exhausted. "I need to speak to Caliph." Ross raised an eyebrow. "He's in lockdown, mind fractured." Riker replied. He knew more about the architects than anyone. In a dark, cold cell, Caliph sat on the floor, eyes half closed. Riker entered. "Talk," he said. "Now," Caliph smiled slowly. "You woke them. They were watching the gate, always." Riker leaned in. "What is the eye?" Caliph's voice dropped. "It's not one being, it's many. Looking through one. The architects are just its hands." Riker's blood ran cold. "Can it be stopped?" Caliph closed his eyes. "Only if you shut your side, before they finish opening theirs." Back in the lab, Sarah worked fast with VEL. They studied the seed. "It pulsed like a heart," Vel said. "It's turning Earth into a beacon." Sarah nodded. That means we need to cut the signal. But the problem was simple. The seed was alive. And it was learning. Every time they touched it, it changed form, adapting. Sierra stared. We can't destroy it. Vel added, but maybe we can fool it. Riker had a new plan. He gathered Sierra, Vel, and Ross. We'll use the Phoenix Gate to throw the seed into an empty part of space. Ross frowned. Won't that just delay the problem? Riker replied, no, we attach a feedback loop. It'll trick the eye into thinking Earth was a mistake. Vel added, it'll close the signal. Ross hesitated. Do it. At dawn, the sky began to change. Clouds twisted unnaturally. Light bent in strange shapes. People stopped in them. Streets. Staring up, the sky, once blue, began to glow. Red. Bleeding red dot as if space itself had torn. Giant shapes moved behind the clouds. Too far to see clearly. But present. Ross ordered full lockdown. All military satellites aimed toward the sky. But no weapon mattered. The seed activated fully. A gate opened above Earth. Halfway between dimensions. The first tendrils of the eye began pushing through. And Earth trembled. In the launch bay, Riker and Sierra prepared the mission. They placed the seed inside a reinforced containment pod. Vel added the feedback device. If this works, he said, the eye will lose its target. Sierra looked worried. And if it doesn't? Vel gave a weak smile. We'll all find out together. They launched the shuttle. No escort. Just them, and the most dangerous object in the galaxy. Midway through space, alarms rang. The gate behind them had expanded. Pieces of Earth's atmosphere began tearing. Riker shouted, push the coordinates. Vel activated the Phoenix Gate, a mini one they rebuilt from their earlier journey. A white hole opened, not time this time, but space. They had one chance. Throw it. Riker yelled. Sierra opened the bay doors. The pod floated out, straight toward the void. Then, the eye screamed. A psychic shockwave hit them all. Their minds burned. Sierra collapsed. Vel bled from the nose. Riker grabbed the controls. Hold it steady. The pod reached the edge of the void and vanished. The Phoenix Gate closed behind it. Silence. Then, the eye paused. Clouds stopped moving. Red sky turned pale. Then blue. Clear. Clean. The shapes in the clouds disappeared. Back on Earth, people cried. Some prayed. Others just watched. The world had come within seconds of destruction. And something had changed. Back at HQ, Vel laid in the med bay. He whispered to Riker, we tricked it. Riker nodded. But only once. Sierra stood beside them, arms crossed. Vel, come back, right? Riker replied, maybe, but now we know how to fight. Ross entered the room. The Phoenix Gate is offline. Earth is safe, but the architects are still out there. Riker looked up. Then we take the fight to them. Later, Sierra tucked her son into bed. He looked up. Was it the bad ones again? She nodded, but we sent them away. He smiled. Because you're strong. She smiled, brushing his hair. No, because we're smart. And brave. He closed his eyes. Outside the window, stars glowed peacefully. For now, but across the universe, a council met. 7 beings of light and shadow. One of them, older than time, spoke. The human signal was a ripple, a crack. Another added, next. Time, we won't ask questions. A third whispered, prepare the architects. Begin phase 2. 3 months passed. Earth healed. But Riker didn't sleep. He saw the eye in his dreams, the stars bleeding, the gate opening again. He sat on the rooftop of Earth Defense HQ, scanning space logs. Sierra joined him. You keep watching the sky. You think they're coming back? Riker didn't look up. I know they are. She sat beside him. We beat them once. Riker shook his head. We tricked them. That won't work twice. In orbit, a new station floated, Project Sentinel. Built. By humans and former Varnak engineers. Vel oversaw it. He adjusted his screen, then froze. Captain, you need to see this. They gathered in the war room. Ross, Riker, Sierra, Vel, and others. Vel played the recording. A signal, similar to the first one, was bouncing from outside known space. Not a probe. Not a threat. It was a message. 2. The one who moved. You broke the loop. Meet us where the stars scream. Riker blinked. That's for me. Ross stood. It's a trap. Sierra looked to Riker. But what if it's not? Riker made his choice. He boarded a stealth ship alone. Just him and a translator. Drone. Destination. The edge of known space. There. He passed dying stars and frozen planets. At last. He reached it. The screaming stars. A sector where light acted. Strange. Where no ship returned. The ship landed on a metal surface. A massive disk floating in nothing. Riker stepped out, and the architects arrived. Not in ships, but as light. Forming shapes. 7 of them. Old. Alien. Not angry, just curious. The tallest one stepped forward. You are the one who moved. Riker nodded. I had to save my people. Another spoke. You rewrote a fixed line. Broke the time loop. No species has ever done that. Riker stood firm. I do it again. The architects were silent. Then one asked, why? He paused, then said, because we are not meant to die in loops made by others. We're meant to choose. The being shifted. You are ... dangerous. Riker replied, maybe, but only to those who want control. A pause. Then, the architect said, you were not supposed to exist. Now ... we must decide. A circle appeared, inside. It has memories. The war, the child, the gate, Sierra, Vel, Earth. The architect reached forward and stopped. You changed your path in hours. The eye does not forget, but it can watch. Another added, we give your world a condition. Riker narrowed his eyes. What? Close the gate, forever. Remove the Phoenix device. Let the loop rest. Riker hesitated. The gate is hope, travel, defense. The architect replied, or a doorway to extinction. Riker clenched his fists. Then opened them. Fine. Leave Earth alone. The beings nodded. One last time, the architect spoke. We are not enemies. But we are not your friends. Then they vanished. Riker returned, told the council everything. Some didn't believe him. Ross asked, can we trust them? Riker said, they didn't kill me. That's more than most enemies would do. Sierra agreed. We do what they asked. We close the gate. Vel nodded. Let's not roll the dice again. A ceremony was held. Global broadcast. The Phoenix device, humanity's greatest discovery, was dismantled, not destroyed, but sealed deep below the Earth, buried under miles of steel and silence. Riker gave a short speech. We opened doors we weren't ready for. Now we learn to grow before we walk again. The people cheered, but some cried. Time passed. Years. Riker retired. Lived in a cabin near the edge of a forest. One night, the boy, now grown, visited. He looked to the stars. Are they still watching? Riker smiled, always. The boy asked, did you do the right thing? Riker looked to the sky. I did what no one else would. And then, above them, a shooting star crossed the sky. No threat. No gate. Just light. Free. Dash. Epilogue. Far, far away. The architect stood in silence. One of them whispered, the loop is broken. Another replied, so we write a new one. And they turned to a blank page of the stars. But on that page, there was a name, humanity, and a question beside it. What happens when the ants learn to build their own maze? The stars did not answer, but they would, one day.